Welcome back to Bazaar Morning Call. Jindal Stainless is the stock on our radar. Posted a solid Q1 FY22 earnings. Revenue has surged and margins have also seen a big improvement. Another positive is that debt reduction has continued and debt is down 30% since March of last year. Anurag Mantri, the Group CFO of Jindal Stainless, joins us now to talk about that. Anurag, can you tell us about the volume guidance for the full year? Earlier, you had guided for about a 20% growth in volumes. Do you stick to that, or do you think you can do better given that the demand situation has improved?
On a overall basis, if I see, because since now merger is also on the card, so if I talk about the merged Jindal Stainless entity volume, we were guiding at 20%. We still hope to achieve that. Where we have seen in the Q1, because of the some on and off lockdown in certain states, challenges in the logistics on export side. If you see, our volumes were bit of the down on Q1. So considering that cautious and what lies ahead for the next 3 quarters, it's very difficult to predict at this point of time. We believe that our guidance should be 15 to 20%, though it will be more towards 20, but we are not taking up beyond 20, because so 15 to 20 is the volume guidance for FY22.
I'll tell you what the worry is. You were falling even before the COVID pandemic. Even in FY20, you all did 12,900 crore compared to 13,500 in FY19. So there is a bit of a worry whether there is a slowdown trend. So what is your capacity utilization now?
See, capacity utilization are still in last quarter was more than 90%. So that the worry is not for us the demand side. Our challenges of last quarter was not at all on a demand side. It was completely on the logistics challenges, and there were state-wise lockdown happening in the various parts. So there was a challenge into getting the material out to the customer place.
Got it.
So it was completely because of that.
Okay, got it. Okay. So therefore you should be in a better position, considering that, okay, let's hope there's no third wave and further restrictions. Under current circumstances, if the July atmosphere prevails, what would be your revenue or capacity utilization or volume guidance?
If July and thing prevails, probably we will be hitting the sales volume growth of around 20%, which we guided earlier.
Okay.
The only because of keeping third wave or certain challenges in mind, I'm just revising that guidance should be 15 to 20%. But given what you have said, I think we are good to go for more towards 20%.
Okay. Likewise, I wanted a guidance on EBITDA per ton. 24,000 is very good because you had guided much lower. Will you maintain 24,000?
No, Lata, our guidance, so let me give you the thing. Our guidance to the market last time was the 15 to 17,000 of EBITDA range on a full year basis. Against this, obviously, we did Q1 was one of the good margin, because it was more because of on the healthy product mix and the entire cost efficiencies which we have bought. Considering that in mind, Q1 performance, and I would like to revise the guidance to 18 to 20,000, but 24,000 is not will guide it for full year, because that's not probably we will see some of the up and down in the margin. So on a full year basis, we are sure that we can achieve 18 to 20,000 of EBITDA per ton.
Sure. Okay, 18 to 20,000 EBITDA per ton. Can you tell us a little bit about the debt repayment schedule? Post the merger, what will the debt be at? And, after knocking off the ICDs, what happens to the consolidated debt?
Good question. So after knocking off the ICDs, the console debt will be close to less than 2,800 crore currently. Okay. And if you see the EBITDA, which is being knocked in Q4 by the two companies, is over 800 crore. So considering that time, we are very well placed in terms of our debt equity is now less than 0.5 on console basis. That EBITDA is actually less than 0.75. So one of the best in the metal industry. So we have focused on, besides being a capex intensive, we have really focused more on our stronger balance sheet.
So what is the quarterly finance cost outgo?
See, on a full year basis, FY22, what we guided on a merged entity basis, Lata, is that around we will be doing a close to less than 375, maybe around 350 crore of total full year basis. On a merged entity basis, the debt which I told you about, the 2,800 plus working capital debt.
Fair point. Then that is certainly comfortable. I take your point. Your EBITDA, even in one quarter, is much higher. What is the timeline, therefore, for the merger?
See, merger, actually SEBI and stock exchange approval moved very fast. We are now into the NCLT process, which is, I must say that it's a bit slow because of the certain challenges in the NCLT overall workforce because of COVID and other things. But still, we hope to maintain meet in within our guided timeline of this year FY22 to complete this merger process and have one listed stock within this financial year.
Okay. Wanted to ask you a little bit about the expansion as well. You spoke about the growth target for FY22, but you've also announced a brownfield expansion of around 2150 crores. What would this take your total capacity to? How do you plan to fund that?
So with this expansion, so if you just to recall that basically what we built a very world-class facility in Odisha. And with just 2,150 crore, we will be able to double the capacity, which is actually less than 1/3 of the new capex cost. And without any risk of like land acquisition, environmental clearances, everything is in place. So approvals are in place, water connectivity, infrastructure, railway, everything is in place. It's just more, and the way we have built the plan is more to order the equipment and put it in the side by side of our existing capacities. So it's, and those plannings were, we have planned the plant that way. So with this, the payback will be very fast, and we will be doubling the capacity within next 18 months to start from Q3 FY23, start coming up into the commissioning phase, and from Q3 FY23 in next 18 months time.
And finally, what about PLI? There is something for special steels. You are going to throw your hat in the ring?
See, we still need to see. I think as per our initial thing, I don't think stainless right now falls into that. But yes, once we are getting into some of the specialized product, we'll have to see that how the government moves towards it.
Fair point. It's not a stainless steel scheme. It's more for special steels. I take your point on that. A pleasure speaking with you, Anurag. Hope you have a roaring FY22 as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Sudha.
Okay, we'll just run you through the past financials. It's not that useful now because it will become a merged entity with Jindal Hisar. But this is the past 5-year trend. First revenue, and then you will have EBITDA and the profit bar chart running for you. And with that, we will go into a break and come back with what the market seems to love the most.